Have you ever noticed that some people command respect without ever raising their voice? They don't shout, they don't threaten, yet when they speak, everyone listens. Most people think respect is earned by dominating a room, but the truth is, real power comes from calm authority and the precision of your words. Imagine walking into a meeting, a heated family argument, or even a casual conversation, and with one single phrase, you shift the entire atmosphere in your favor. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 phrases so effective that when spoken, they force anyone to pause, listen, and treat you with respect. Whether it's your boss, a friend, or a stranger, these phrases work. And the best part? They require no shouting, no aggression, only control. Stay with me until the end, because phrase number 3 is so powerful, it can stop even the most difficult person in their tracks, leaving them no choice but to acknowledge your authority. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters." In the art of respect, this means one thing: control yourself, and the world will learn to respect you. You don't need to lash out, and you don't need to raise your voice. You need only to respond with firmness, clarity, and serenity. The Stoics understood that the right words, used at the right moment, are sharper than any weapon and more commanding than any show of force. From ancient Rome to today, the ones who leave their mark are never those who yell the loudest, but those who speak with calm conviction. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor who ruled millions, never lost his composure, because he understood that true authority is rooted in self-mastery. And in our lives today, whether in conflict, at work, or in personal struggles, the principle remains the same. Calm words, chosen wisely, have the power to command respect. Phrase 1. I respect your view, but I see it differently. This phrase is deceptively simple, yet deeply effective. It acknowledges the other person's perspective without surrendering your own. You're not dismissing them, and you're not agreeing just to avoid conflict. Instead, you make it clear that you have considered their opinion, but you hold your own position with strength. Imagine being in a meeting where someone insists on an idea you know won't work. Instead of shutting them down or staying silent, you calmly say, "I respect your view, but I see it differently." In that instant, you establish authority without hostility. In Stoic thought, this is separating judgment from emotion. You don't need to prove yourself, you simply show that your judgment is steady, independent, and unshaken. Phrase 2. That doesn't sit well with me. This phrase is direct, controlled, and leaves no room for argument. It stops inappropriate behavior or disrespect instantly, without the need for anger or long explanations. Picture a situation where someone makes a cutting remark or crosses a line in conversation. Most people would stay silent or laugh nervously, but you calmly respond, "That doesn't sit well with me." The power of this phrase lies in its restraint. It doesn't attack, it doesn't escalate, yet it makes the other person aware that they've crossed a boundary. Seneca once wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity." When you use this phrase, you embrace discomfort and you show that you refuse to allow disrespect. You make your dignity clear without raising your voice, and that in itself compels others to respect you. Phrase 3. We can continue this when we can speak with respect. This phrase takes control of any hostile situation. You are not retreating, you are not avoiding conflict, you are setting the terms of the discussion. Imagine someone shouting at you, interrupting you, or speaking with aggression. Instead of matching their energy, you breathe, hold your composure, and calmly say, "We can continue this when we can speak with respect." With those words, you shift the balance. You refuse to engage on their terms, and you teach them that if they want to deal with you, it must be on a foundation of respect. Epictetus taught that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can always control our response. This phrase embodies that principle. It shields your peace and makes others realize that disrespectful behavior will never earn your attention. Phrase 4. I don't wish to continue this discussion. This phrase is decisive. It ends an exchange that no longer serves you. It doesn't mean you're running away. It means you're valuing your peace above pointless conflict. Picture being dragged into an endless argument with someone who is only looking to provoke or prove themselves right. Instead of exhausting yourself, you simply say, "I don't wish to continue this discussion," and in that moment, you reclaim your power. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By refusing to be pulled into the trap of endless debate, you show strength. You make it clear that you will not allow yourself to be consumed by meaningless conflict, and others will see this as a sign of self-respect and discipline. Phrase 5. You're entitled to your opinion, but I stand by mine. This phrase strikes the balance between courtesy and authority. You acknowledge the other person's right to think differently, but you also draw a line that your own beliefs are not up for negotiation. Imagine a friend, a colleague, or even a family member pressing their views onto you, trying to convince you to bend. Instead of arguing point by point, you calmly say, "You're entitled to your opinion, but I stand by mine." The strength of this phrase is that it closes the door to pressure while keeping the relationship intact. Seneca warned that being a slave to the opinions of others is the harshest form of captivity. This phrase is your way out of that prison. You respect others, but you remain free in your own mind. Now you have 5 phrases that, when spoken with calm certainty, will make anyone respect you. Remember them. I respect your view, but I see it differently. That doesn't sit well with me. We can continue this when we can speak with respect. I don't wish to continue this discussion. You're entitled to your opinion, but I stand by mine. Use them wisely, use them firmly, and you will notice that people listen more, measure their words, and treat you with greater consideration. Respect isn't taken by force. It's inspired by the strength of your character and worth. And here at Anonymous Achiever, I show you how to speak, think, and act with the wisdom of the great philosophers, so you can live with clarity, authority, and inner strength. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.